What if I told you that one of football's most sacred grounds, where Diego Maradona performed miracles, is about to be abandoned forever? Napoli just made a decision that could destroy Italian football history. They're walking away from the legendary Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the place where their greatest hero made magic, to build a brand new €300 million stadium. This isn't just controversial, it could be catastrophic. The club that gave us some of football's most unforgettable moments is now ready to trade 66 years of history for modern profits. But what if they can't finish it in time? And what happens to one of Italy's most iconic stadiums? This is the story of the biggest risk in football stadium history, and the clock is already ticking. But why would Napoli risk everything? The answer lies in a decision made thousands of miles away that changed everything for Italian football. In October 2023, Italy and Turkey won the rights to co-host UEFA Euro 2032. While this should have been celebration time, it actually marked the beginning of a crisis for Italian football infrastructure. The rules were brutal. Each country needed 5 world-class stadiums meeting UEFA's modern standards. Turkey could handle this easily, but Italy, with its aging stadiums and complex ownership complications, faced a nightmare scenario. This is where Napoli's problems really began. The Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, which opened in 1959 as Stadio San Paolo, had been showing its age for years. When Diego Maradona arrived in 1984, he transformed this venue into his kingdom. After his death in 2020, Naples honored him by renaming their beloved ground. But nostalgia doesn't meet UEFA standards, and the harsh reality was becoming impossible to ignore. The stadium had serious structural problems that went beyond simple renovations. The third tier had been closed for years due to safety concerns, limiting capacity to just 54,726. With infrastructure issues mounting and the Euro 2032 selection controversy intensifying, Naples desperately wanted to be included, but their stadium simply couldn't compete with modern arenas. The breaking point came in July 2025 when Naples municipality allocated €10 million for renovations, hoping to make the stadium Euro 2032 ready. They proposed reopening the dangerous third tier, expanding capacity by 10,000 seats, and implementing safety improvements. It seemed like a reasonable solution until President Aurelio De Laurentiis revealed the shocking truth. De Laurentiis had commissioned 2 years of extensive technical studies, funded entirely by the club. The verdict was devastating. The Stadio Diego Armando Maradona was incompatible with modern investment requirements. The proposed municipal renovations were unsatisfactory and financially unsustainable. Instead of throwing good money after bad, De Laurentiis saw an opportunity that could transform not just Napoli's fortunes, but an entire area of Naples. The announcement sent shockwaves through Italian football. Napoli wasn't just rejecting a renovation, they were rejecting 66 years of history for an uncertain future. But what exactly are they planning to build instead? The new stadium isn't just going to be bigger, it's going to be revolutionary. We're talking about a 65,000-seat ultra-modern arena that will rival the most spectacular stadiums in world football. But the capacity increase isn't just about fitting more fans, it's about creating an entirely new match-day experience. The seating arrangement will be completely reimagined. Gone are the days of obstructed views and uncomfortable concrete benches. Every single seat will offer perfect sightlines to the pitch, with ergonomic design ensuring maximum comfort for the full 90 minutes and beyond. The technology integration is where this project becomes truly revolutionary. The stadium will feature a full 360-degree LED lighting system that won't just illuminate the pitch, but will create spectacular light shows that will turn every match into an event. The stadium will pulse with Napoli's blue colors as the team emerges from the tunnel, creating an atmosphere unlike anything currently seen in Italian football. The HD screen technology will be unlike anything currently seen in Italian football. Multiple giant screens strategically positioned around the stadium will ensure that every replay, every statistic, and every moment of drama is captured in crystal clear detail. The sound system will be so advanced that even fans in the highest tiers will feel like they're part of the action on the pitch. Now, let's talk about what really drives modern stadium economics: the hospitality and corporate facilities. The new stadium will feature extensive VIP lounges, premium restaurants, and corporate boxes that will generate year-round revenue. This isn't just about match days anymore. This is about creating a destination that operates 365 days a year. The accessibility features will be world-class, with elevators, ramps, and specially designed zones, ensuring that every fan, regardless of physical ability, can enjoy the Napoli experience. This represents a massive leap forward from the current stadium's limited accessibility options. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect is the roof structure. The new design will feature a modern, fully covered design that will not only improve fan comfort during Naples' rainy season, but will also incorporate energy-efficient technology. We're talking about potential solar panel integration, rainwater harvesting, and smart climate control systems that could make this one of the most environmentally friendly stadiums in Europe. The exterior design promises to be equally impressive, with facades that will reflect Naples' rich cultural heritage while embracing cutting-edge architectural trends. What makes this even more remarkable is that this isn't just about creating a bigger stadium. It's about creating a catalyst for urban transformation that we'll explore in our next section. However, turning these ambitious plans into reality presents challenges that could derail everything and raises questions that no one wants to answer. With UEFA's deadline for stadium confirmation set for mid-2026, Napoli is racing against an unforgiving clock. The club plans a phased construction approach that would keep the current Maradona Stadium operational during Serie A seasons, but the logistics are extraordinarily complex. Construction crews must work around match schedules, training sessions, and countless stadium events while building a €300 million facility from scratch. Napoli has identified the Poggio Reale neighborhood as their preferred location, an area that has struggled with unemployment and inadequate infrastructure for decades. The club promises urban regeneration, creating thousands of jobs and attracting investment to a forgotten part of Naples. But this location choice creates its own set of engineering challenges in a seismically active region that demands advanced earthquake-resistant construction. Yet the most troubling question remains unanswered. What happens to the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona once Napoli moves out? This historic venue could become Italy's next abandoned ghost stadium, joining a depressing list of forgotten arenas across the country. We've witnessed this tragedy before. The Stadio delle Alpi in Turin sat empty for years after Juventus departed, while several Olympic venues from past games now stand as concrete monuments to waste and poor planning. The financial implications are equally devastating. Taxpayers' money invested in the Maradona Stadium over decades could be completely wasted if Napoli moves. The €10 million recently allocated by Naples municipality for renovations becomes meaningless spending if the primary tenant abandons the venue entirely. This represents a massive loss of public investment with no return. Fan groups remain bitterly divided over this decision. Some see the new stadium as essential for competing with Europe's elite clubs and generating the revenues needed for top-level football. Others view it as an unforgivable betrayal of sacred ground where Maradona created miracles, and 2 Serie A titles were won in 1987 and 1990. Political tensions have escalated dramatically throughout this process. Mayor Gaetano Manfredi faces public embarrassment, having allocated significant public funds for a renovation project that the main tenant has publicly rejected. The relationship between club and city has never been more strained, creating uncertainty about future cooperation. But even if all these challenges can be overcome, the ultimate question remains: can Napoli actually afford to make this dream a reality? The answer to that question reveals the most audacious part of this entire plan and the biggest risk Napoli has ever taken. Aurelio De Laurentiis has made an extraordinary promise that sounds almost impossible. Napoli will fund this entire €250 to €300 million project with their own resources, requiring no public investment whatsoever. In an era where public funding for sports venues creates massive controversy, this represents either brilliant business planning or financial recklessness on an unprecedented scale. But how can this massive investment possibly make sense? De Laurentiis isn't just thinking about construction costs, he's betting everything on a complete revenue transformation. Current projections suggest the new stadium could generate up to 50 million euros more per year compared to the existing venue. The UEFA Euro 2032 hosting opportunity represents the ultimate prize. Host stadiums typically experience significant increases in tourism, international recognition, and commercial partnerships. For Naples, with its incredible cultural heritage and passionate football tradition, this tournament could be absolutely transformational for the club's global brand. However, the financial risks are staggering. Construction cost overruns are standard in major stadium projects, and any significant delays could jeopardize the Euro 2032 opportunity entirely. The COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated how quickly stadium revenues can disappear, making such a massive investment incredibly vulnerable to unforeseen circumstances. The most terrifying scenario involves timing. What if the project isn't ready by 2030 or 2031? Missing the Euro 2032 deadline would be absolutely catastrophic, eliminating the tournament that represents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to showcase the new stadium to a global audience and generate massive commercial returns. The funding timeline creates additional pressure, with construction needing to begin by early 2026 to meet the Euro 2032 deadline. Napoli must secure financing arrangements worth hundreds of millions of euros in record time. This requires not just enormous financial resources, but world-class project management expertise. If this project fails, the consequences would be devastating beyond imagination. Napoli could be left without a modern stadium, excluded from Euro 2032, and facing financial difficulties that could destroy their competitiveness for decades. But if it succeeds, Napoli could go from underdog to owning one of Europe's top stadiums, transforming their future forever. The clock is ticking, the stakes couldn't be higher, and only time will tell whether this bold vision becomes reality. What do you think? Are Napoli making the right choice, or should they preserve the sacred ground where Maradona worked his magic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of football's most dramatic stories, don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible football stories.